Hi everybody. I'm just going to continue with my story from um, the point where I got with Flying Monkey number one. My mother called, had a discussion with his mother, made her really mad. She kicked us both out. We went and lived somewhere else. And then eventually my boyfriend then joined the National Guard, and he was going to be gone for like 3 months, and ended up living back with my parents. I had a car, I had a couple jobs. I was a hostess at a restaurant, and I worked at a ceramic shop and poured molds. I kept pretty busy, and I was 16ish, maybe 17. Um, while Flying Monkey number one was in the Army, or the National Guards at boot camp, I met my first husband. And so broke up with Wally while he was away. I said his name again. Anyway, when he came back, he got with another girl, and I ran into him at a party, and as soon as I walked in, he just started calling me names and belittling me, and his girlfriend just sat there and didn't do anything. And there were a lot of my friends there, and I just decided I was going to leave, and I went to leave, and he stood in the doorway and he wouldn't let me pass. And then the next thing I know, I'm flat on the ground, and he's on top of me, and he's yelling something. I don't remember what it was. And there were some guys there, and they drug him off, and they just like scooped me up and drug me down the stairs. And this was like in an attic apartment that we were all in. And this was in a crazy time, okay? This was a crazy time. 79, 78, something like that. Well, down on the bottom floor, and my knees were not working. They're shaking because, I was just attacked and stuff. So I'm being drug out of this house. We get to the bottom floor, and somebody had maced it. But we kept going. We got out of the house, and I ran and I hid behind a garage. And there was this big guy that had drugged me out of there and told me to run and hide. And he was kind of waiting to make sure Flying Monkey number one didn't, attack me again. So I'm hiding, and my car's parked in front of this house. And after I was hiding for a little bit, it seemed like, and I thought, I'm going to try to make it to my car and get in my car and take off. Well, I come around to the front yard, and there he was, and he come charging after me. And this guy that had drugged me out of the house, he stood in front of me, and Wally charged at him like a football player would, another football player. And they were both big guys. I didn't know what was going to go down. But right when that happened, there was two guys walking down the sidewalk, and they saw what happened, and they said to the guy, "Get her out of there." And then they started fighting with Flying Monkey number one. And this guy got me out of there in my car. And ended up Flying Monkey number one went to jail that night. And he went to a 7-Eleven and just tore the place apart, I guess. I don't know. But he ended up going to jail. And so that's kind of where I stopped having contact with him. And I started falling for my first husband, who was going to chiropractic school, Palmer College in the Quad Cities. So anyway, he was 28 and I was 17. And I thought he was awesome. He knew everything about everything, it seemed like to me, because I was young and naive, but he knew all about wine, and he was from California. He had culture. He was different. He stood out. He had a lot of confidence. What I thought it was, confidence, and that confidence I thought was very attractive. And later on I find out it's not confidence, it's arrogance. But as you live and learn, right? So anyway, I'm dating this guy, and mom's happy with me for once. I think I might even have been the golden child for a little while I was with this guy, because he had a very bright future and was from a great family, and he was a classy guy. So compared to who I used to date anyway. Basically, I worked in town. I stayed at his house most of the time, and I'd go out to my parents' house and do my laundry, basically was about it. Of course, I dropped out of high school because, graduating 8th grade was not real inspiring for me. So then I went through my runaway phase, so I missed a lot of tests, missed a lot of school. So I did end up dropping out, and got my GED, took photography in college, and started working at like 60-minute photo, hour photo labs, those 60-minute photo labs, and like Sears Portrait Studio and JCPenney's Portrait Studio, and I do some freelance work, and I did that for a long time. When I moved out to California, I continued working in photo labs and taking pictures on the weekends, and I did okay for my age, I thought, looking back on it. I was making like $10 an hour taking pictures, at preschools of football teams, stuff like that. Well, when I got with my first husband, like I said, he was from California, so we moved out there. I didn't know anybody except for him. I seemed to make friends pretty fast, and I lived in a beautiful part of California, Chico, California, which has a beautiful park, and did a lot of hiking, and went to Lake Tahoe a lot, went skiing. First part of this relationship was really great. It really exposed me to a lot of culture and foods and wines and stuff that I was never exposed to before. And then we decide we're going to get married. And he's Catholic, so in order to appease his parents, we had to get married in the Catholic Church. I did not convert yet. But my mother was going to do my wedding. And she is a seamstress. She's done a lot of weddings in her day. So anyway, she made my dress. Of course, I picked out a dress. I couldn't have that dress. I had to have the dress she picked out. I wanted to wear white. She didn't think I deserved